Built during the First World War, the Royal George Theatre behind me is getting some monies for a massive upgrade.
All right, so here we are, Niagara-on-the-Lake, the prettiest town in Canada, and I dare not argue that. Standing in front of a 110-year-old building. That's almost as old as my dad. It is old. But it is a cultural beacon for not just the area, our country, providing premier cultural organizations and major tourism driver for Niagara. This is a big deal standing here. Every year, in fact, 325,000 visitors come from near and far to Niagara-on-the-Lake to enjoy the festival and the beauty of the town and the region. And it's not just the amount of visitors they bring, it's more than $250 million to Ontario's economy. It is my pleasure to announce significant funding in the amount of $35 million over the next 3 years. To, of course, the reconstruction of the Royal George Theatre right here in Niagara-on-the-Lake. Now, this investment is going to allow Shaw to build a more modern, larger theatre to accommodate the growing audience and continue bringing the beauty of live theatre to this incredible site for decades to come. This venue will now have an increased capacity of 20%, improving accessibility and include new amenities such as a rooftop garden, lobby, lounge areas, and rehearsal spaces. It's expected to create 550 new jobs, contribute an additional $80 million in GDP, and contribute $29 billion in public revenues during its construction. This is a key part of Shaw's Festival's broader transformation project, which includes both infrastructure and program development, and a key part of our government's ongoing effort to increase and revitalize Niagara region.
The first week, I think, last year when Premier Ford put me into this ministry, this was one of our first trips out. So I toured the theater. I saw firsthand what they're talking about when they say the lobby can only fit, 13 people. I mean, that barely fits the board of directors for the Royal George and for the Shaw. Talk about accessible washrooms. To go around the building to get to an accessible washroom, you can imagine the difficulties that poses in the wintertime. I saw firsthand the crumbling infrastructure. There's a flood in the basement as we speak. That's why we're not inside. It's aged, and it's actually 80 years past its expected due life on terms of its life expectancy. Yeah, the time is now to invest into the theater, and we're going to see brand new amenities, gold standards when it comes to accessibility, increased capacity of 20%, and we expect that to translate to not just 550 new jobs, but to a big injection into the economy here locally.
We have nursed this building as far as we could. It was built during World War I as a temporary building out of clay speed tile, and the funding announced by the province today will allow us to rebuild it to meet 21st century standards while keeping all of the 19th century look and feel that makes it so beloved. It is, in fact, one of Canada's very few jewel box theatres, and we really love it. We're committed to making it fully accessible and, in fact, achieving Rick Hansen Gold certification and becoming the first theatre in Canada to do so, and to ensuring a green energy efficiency level that truly leads the way and makes the new Royal George a beacon for how theatre can be both accessible and sustainable. And while this announcement makes a rebuild possible, we still have a lot of heavy lifting to do. We need to secure our federal funding for the Royal George project from our province's counterparts in Ottawa, and we need to finish raising funds from our generous donors and the public, many of whom have already committed to the project or told us to come back to them once the province came on board. I think I know what I'm going to be doing the next few weeks.